What you are about to hear is a podcast-only version of Don't Bother Wearing Seatbelts. This is a truly remarkable episode that gives a unique glimpse into one of the most unique humans to ever walk the planet, Cullen Hart. 1 year ago, on November 23rd, hosts Rudy Fischmann and Mathew were joined for the first time by new co-host Patrick Tape Fleming for what none of us knew would become one of the most meaningful conversations in the history of Don't Bother Wearing Seatbelts. That day, Cullen Hart, pop visionary, experimental mastermind, an undisputed 4-track wizard, sat down with us to talk about Explanation 2, the ambient companion piece originally released with the first CD pressing of Dusk at Cubist Castle back in 1996. That was the plan anyway. In very Will fashion, he quickly steered us towards several directions, mostly about his current obsession with Stereolab. And what continued to unfold was a warm and beautifully wandering interview, where we tried, mostly unsuccessfully, to get Will to talk about himself. Instead, we got something better. Pure Will, joyful, curious, generous, brilliant. Shortly after we recorded this session, Will passed away. This conversation now stands as a document of his charm, his creativity, and the enormous heart behind his music. He left us with decades of art, and yes, there's more still to come soon. Hint, hint. As for this episode, filled with his unmistakable warmth, he had one last instruction. Go listen to Stereolab. We hope you enjoy this special episode. Will is still here with all of us, in our stars, in our molecules, and in every sound he ever set free.
Thank you for joining us. Mathew and I have been doing this series for a while, sort of exploring the world of Elephant Six, and Patrick, being very familiar with that world and being a fan. We wanted to talk to you, obviously, at some point, and I am delighted to be talking about Explanation 2, or is it Explanation I don't know.
Yeah, cool.
I will say that I've actually listened to it more than the album of which it accompanies, which I think is interesting.
Let me be totally fucking honest. I'm proud of it. I really am. Like Eno and stuff like that, was really, still am interested in that kind of thing.
Was it recorded 100% by you, or was anyone else involved?
That was just me. Over like a 2-night period. It was raining, obviously. And, Bill and I, we lived together, and Amy, his wife, and, so I guess it was, and Bill, but,
Bill maybe helped the recording process.
Yeah, we're recording it slow.
What do you mean by recording it slow? What did you do?
Oh, record it at fast speed, and then you slow it back down. So, so it's like, that's the wind. So.
Well, I will say this, obviously the sort of ambient sort of genre is not necessarily the most accessible for most people. And as a casual listener who has checked out a few different ambient things over the decades of my life, I think it is something you should be proud of. I really enjoy it every single time I listen to it.
Thank you.
What I think of this album as is kind of an epilogue to Dusk at Cubist Castle. I think of it as 3 a.m. 3 a.m. at Cubist Castle.
That's cool. Wow. That's thanks. Because I'm really proud of all this. I really am, and I appreciate that you want to do this. It's fun.
You can just immerse yourself in it so much, and it's so rhythmic. And I love that you're telling me that you kind of recorded it at a slow speed, because it is still so rhythmic. And then when you get to the rain stuff, there is just like these little beautiful melodies that pop out of stuff. And of course, when you're listening to it with the pop songs of Dusk, it's so immersive, and it kind of feels, of course, like a lot of the stuff you ended up doing with Circulatory System and OTC as well. But it's so immersive. It's, to me, if you did this in 2 days, it's a wonder why, like if you would have been in LA or something instead of Athens, you would probably be doing film scores like professionally.
Thank you. Wow. I would love that. I would love that hint. If you have anything,
What is in your mind, what is Explanation 2's relationship to Dusk at Cubist Castle? What was behind the reasoning behind releasing it as an additional disc with the original CD release?
I like the idea of, at the time, of course, 96. So, I kind of felt like, that was our kind of wheelhouse. So,
there, I can tell there's like organs and, things. And of course there's bells at the beginning, but how much of this is like, household items or just mic'd weird things and delay? And how much of this too is like other people's like dream sequences that they sent you, or was that not really, you hadn't really collected things yet that you would end up using on Black Foliage or whatever?
No, not really. To be honest, I don't, not that I remember at least, but yeah, I mean, like where the birds and stuff like that, that's half speed, because I like the sound of that better than, chirp, 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 it's like, oh, I mean, sorry, that's the bird.
Yeah.
At like half speed, so it's like, next time you hear it, you'll be like, oh wow, I see what you mean. You could tell it's half speed out there.
Do you still have the original tapes of this that you could put out at real speed to just kind of show everybody?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm like, well, I was going to say, yeah, I don't think so, actually.
Well, we are coming up on the 30th anniversary of it, so.
When I turn 25? Yeah, I'm 25. I just turned 25. No, I'm 50 something every year. I mean, man, 30 years. I mean, see, that's crazy to me, though. It really is. I mean, of course, it's crazy to you too, but
Yeah.
not the band. Oh, okay.
And see, I didn't discover this 30 years ago. I found you guys when Black Foliage came out. Actually, on the tour for Black Foliage, when you guys were touring with Elf Power, I saw you.
Oh yeah, wow.
That was my introduction to Olivia Tremor Control, and it was life-changing for me.
Okay, wow. Okay, you liked it. An opinion. I'm asking you. Everybody likes the Dusk Cubist Castle, and not Black Foliage because it's dark psychedelia. To me, I gotta say, dark psychedelia.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you'll remember, but I actually met you. I came to your house and we talked in your backyard for about an hour.
Oh shit. Okay. Of course I remember, man. Dude.
I talked to you about how, honestly, Black Foliage to me is the apex of psychedelia. It's not even just the apex of psychedelia. It's the apex for me of music, period. It is my favorite album ever made.
Black Foliage? Wow.
I know that Dusk gets all the attention, but for me, it's Black Foliage all the way, 100%.
Thank you. I mean, dark psychedelia, to me, that's a big deal to me personally. I don't know. It's just thank you. I appreciate that.
No, it didn't get the love that it deserves.
I've got a friend named Kathy, anyway, but she was like, you guys should have put that out a year earlier. I was like, God, you're fucking right.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem was that it didn't just sink in immediately that this is the masterpiece we've all been waiting for. But oh my God, it is a perfect album from beginning to end.
And I appreciate that. And it's like, I just, these are thoughts. I mean, Bill, like, let me be clear. Bill Doss, I mean, is like, I just didn't realize he has such a tinge of sadness. Honestly, it's like the last song on there. Love having parties and all that. I was like, oh, I loved. I loved that one, and that was one that the band had worked on. But I was just like, really? I mean, we know each other well enough. No, it makes me sad. Actually, you know,
I know. I'm sorry.
it's like, yeah, well, no, it's like, we're having parties and all this stuff. It's like, God, what is that? What is that line? What is that line? Momentum gaining. I was like, holy shit, Bill. We can be real. It's like, I was like, holy shit, man. I mean, you know, momentum gaining. It's like, holy shit. Take me away from this food chain link. Wow. I was like,
Yes.
that's some heavy shit to me. It was like,
What a way to end the album.
Bill, man. But when I went back and like thought about Bill's songs, it made me,
It's got to fill you with sadness as well as the joy.
yeah, I was like, holy shit, man. Take me away from this food chain thing.
I think the magical thing about Black Foliage, I mean, Dusk is my all-time favorite record, but Black Foliage is up there too. And I think that you guys just took it to where nobody else has ever taken it. I think that Black Foliage is a more incredible experiment in music and in production. And I think it's like nobody else has ever reached it, even though Dusk is my favorite just because I heard Dusk first. I got Dusk like 2 weeks after it came out because I just happened to be a 15-year-old kid in Let It Be Records in Minneapolis, and it was up on the shelf.
I love this.
Like it was up on the shelf as like the staff picks, and I brought it up to the counter, and the thing that it said up on the shelf, it was like the White Album meets Brian Eno. That's what it said. And so I brought it up to the counter, and the guy goes, "Oh, this is a real trip. You're gonna love this."
A real trip. Nice.
And it was. And from that day on, it's been my all-time favorite record. And to be, like 19 years old, 18 years old when Black Foliage finally came out, what an experience for like a kid who is into music, who plays music, whose favorite band puts that album out. I mean, can you imagine that?
That's so cool because it got the opposite a lot of times. They're like, oh, Dusk is the best one. It was like, okay, great. I'm glad. Very proud of it.
It's less accessible, but I mean, if you stick with it, I've been listening to it for 20 years now. You know what I mean? And listening to it religiously. And I've bought so many copies for other people, and some people get it and some people don't. But it's so amazing.
The one thing that I always say, I think we'll have to move away from Black Foliage at some point, but the one thing that I really would like, that I always say about Black Foliage, is that it created an expectation in me of what music should be capable of doing that was never matched again.
Oh, man. Really? Holy shit.
Yes.
Holy shit.
I have never found an album that made me feel the way that Black Foliage made me feel since the day I listened to it. That has been my search in life, is to find something as good as Black Foliage.
And you won't ever find it again because nobody will take that time to layer those things, to sample themselves, to pull those tapes together, to mix an album that well. I know that the remaster, everybody's like, oh, the remaster is even shinier and better, but I never had a problem with the original. You know what I mean?
No, me either.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't either. I mean, not to be a jackass, but no, I'm very proud of it. Look, I mean, I don't know if this becomes clear or not, but once you know the two records, it's the exact opposite to me.
It is.
Wow, yeah, Dusk, Cubist Castle. That's some ridiculous sounding shit. It is real and all, but it's like Black Foliage. It's like, holy shit. Yeah, I remember being at my mom's house, one time, and it was like some magazine that was, at our house. I was like, Black Foliage. I was like, wow, those two words are great together. I don't know, man. Is it? I don't think it's a dark album. I think it's just real, and I'm proud of that.
Do you really want me to fuck shit up right now?
Fuck shit up, Rudy.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking as somebody who, for whatever reason, completely missed I mean, really, the only like Elephant Six related stuff that I was even familiar with back in the 90s was like a little Ladybug Transistor,
Man, yeah.
a little bit Apples in Stereo. That was like it. But even then, I wasn't like deep into either band. And then now, as a guy who is in his early 50s, being introduced to some of this stuff, I'm like, holy fuck, this stuff is awesome. But I think Black Foliage of the proper, quote unquote, proper albums, I enjoy it more in 2024, or I guess 2025 when this actually gets posted. In theory, it's the one I actually enjoy of the two, but to really fuck shit up. I actually think Explanation 2 is the strongest of the three for me personally. While I enjoy both those albums very much, there's just something that Explanation 2 does to my brain when I listen to it. It does something to like my pheromones and hormones and my mood, whatever, that I really enjoy. Like I go out, it's the only ambient sort of record that I go out of my way to like listen to, where I think most of the other ones are just more sort of accidental, like, oh, hey, yeah, I'll listen to that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Sorry. Yeah.
I think the thing that makes the record so good and makes the ambient stuff so good is that the pop songs aspect of it are like top tier. They are some of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. And then you mix it with,
Hey, man, thank you.
the long piece on Dusk, or, some of the longer instrumental pieces on Black Foliage. The payoff is like that you get through those long pieces and you get to the how much longer can I wait? And then it just goes into one of the greatest pop songs of all time. I've sat with friends in a car and made them listen to 8 minutes of water dripping and cars driving by to get to that point of the, how much longer can I wait? And just to see their face, it fucks with people. They're just like, how is this real? I've talked to so many people about it. It's just like and especially people who make music. Yeah. And like, the thing I think about your songwriting, Will, that I love so much, it's you're going from E to D. You're just like, okay, we got these, you're just going back and forth to two chords, but you can make that two chord song so incredible with the flourishes and the touches and the melodies and the things that you do and the atmosphere you bring with it. It's so mind-boggling.
I mean, I got really into like music concrete, so that was a big deal to me for Black Village myself personally. Yeah, I mean, it blew my mind. It's like, holy shit. I mean, when you realize like how to do certain things, like slow it down, or that kind of shit. It was just really, really a new thing for me. It's like, holy shit.
And I love how patient the music is. Like when you guys played live, it's a lot more up in your face and like,
So punk rock.
it's very punk rock live.
Fucking God, thank you, punk rock guys.
Going back to why these albums are so incredible and why Explanation 2 is incredible is the sequencing of not only the songs or the cycles, but it's like every single album has like this arc and ends with such a masterpiece that just leaves you hanging, but also ties the bookend up. And as far as the way that two albums start, I don't think there's two albums ever made that start more excitingly. You are in the story right away.
Yeah, like recording with Robert Schneider and the first album, Dusk. It's like every single person, like Jeff was there, Julian, and all these people. I mean, we all did some guitars. I didn't have any like real what should start the album, but that was it. Where he's like, man, Dusk. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and then the choices to end both records, with like two of like the sweetest, just most beautiful tunes that you guys ever produced. Both that records just end so beautifully.
Thank you. It's for me. It's my memories of like, man, I wrote that in high school. I mean, I did. I was 17. It was like we're in the movies. Honestly, watching. We get the point. Daniel Johnston, major major fucking big deal to me. Still is. That's what I learned from that situation of how to do like that. We're in movies,
I guess I wouldn't have thought that Daniel Johnson would be a big influence on you, but now that you say it, I can see that.
Oh man, look, more songs of pain and more songs of pain, more songs of pain. Just it's just no. It's if you don't know it, please get it, and I think you will really love it. I mean, maybe he won't, but it's a big deal. It was a big deal to me.
Oh no, he's fantastic.
More songs of pain and songs of pain. Just they're some of the best fucking songs. I mean, I'm getting right now. We're getting it's like the song "Pow." It's a big deal to me. How to write songs, craft songs. I'm 16, 17, somewhere in the tape to tape, kind of thing. It was so fucking fun and interesting, and that's what I learned from Daniel Johnson. It's like, it's
Hell yeah.
if I had my own way, I'd be with you here today. But I rarely have my own way. That's why you're not here with me today. Those kinds of things I just learned.
So Patrick and I have been colluding a little bit, and I brought this up to Rudy, but I think I talked more about it with Patrick. And I want to stress that I don't want you to feel in any way obligated to say yes to what I'm about to ask you about because you're on here. Because if you think it's a bad idea or you just don't want to do it for any reason whatsoever, then we'll just not put it in the podcast, so you don't have to worry about being embarrassed. Patrick and I have and Rudy, we have this idea that what we would really love to do is see you put out Explanation 2 on vinyl.
Oh, I love that. I love that idea.
I am upset, and I have been upset for I can't tell you how many years that I cannot own Explanation 2 on vinyl. I want it on vinyl.
Yeah, I mean the band, the Gerbils,
Yeah.
Yeah, they both were like, what's it? I went to his house one day and it was and I was like, holy shit, man. He goes, I love this fucking record. I was like, man, thanks. I was like, but I was surprised, but I was like, wow, just for clarity's sake, I love the idea of it.
We will absolutely do any amount of the background work needed to happen, and we would do that for absolutely no money whatsoever. The only thing that I could ever want out of that situation, if that were to come to fruition, is having the vinyl in my hands that I can put on my record player.
I think there's at least 100 or 200 people in the world who feel the same way, who would love to have that on their record.
Nice. I rarely have my own way. That's why you're not here today. Sorry, man.
Well, when is the last time you listened to it with Dusk as a companion, and where did that take you?
I listen to quite a bit. I do. I'll put it on.
It's so meditative, and it if you want to feel the groove in it, it's percussive too. It has a groove.
You said that before, and I was like, wow, that's interesting, because I guess you're kind of right. I mean,
yeah, I think so. I mean, it's kind of like for a while I was. My partner lived in Fairfield, Iowa, which is the home of the Maharishi school, and so she kind of got me into meditations. My focus on meditating was so hard to just do it silently. But if I put on a record like this, I could feel the repetitive things of a mantra without having a mantra. You know what I mean?
I just connected, and it was like, holy shit. I mean, it was like, holy shit, man. I mean, just to realize that life is what it is. And it's like, and it sent me somewhere else. Oh, here, I could maybe put it better. Okay, in high school. Okay. In high school, we had a pool house, and that's kind of where I stayed. It was awesome. But I just sat there and just meditated to myself. It ripped my fucking mind out. It really did. I was like, holy shit. And so, and it freaked me out. It freaked me out, actually, to be honest with you. And more recently, I mean, in the last bunch of months, I did the same, and I was like, and it freaked me out again. No, really.
No, I mean that's how your music hits me. It freaks me out every time that this is something that human beings are capable of making.
Yeah, it's just like, when you actually do it, holy shit.
You are, and I want you to know this is not me blowing smoke or anything. You are my absolute favorite musician in the world. I think
Have you
that
ever seen John Lennon or?
I think that you have spoken more to something inside of me than any other musician has. And I think something that you understand is that music can, should, and must contain all aspects of the human experience.
Man, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, and all the sounds of the human experience. I think that's what's magical too.
Thank you.
Not only the feelings, but it's the sounds.
Would you say it's dark psychedelia? I mean, I can't think of another. Love, Forever Changes, maybe something like that.
Well, I think good psychedelic music always has that tinge of melancholy. Like look at, like The Left Bank or something, like the song Walk Away Renee is like, it's cheerful. You know what I mean? It's like, it has that mystery in it, but it also is just very sweet and sad and heartfelt. And I think like,
Thank you. Sweet and sad. No, that's exactly it. Well put.
and I think on Black Foliage, for instance, you guys are using a lot more instruments. There's more strings on there. There's more kind of electronic sounds. Like it's just a different world than it is in Dusk, where Dusk almost feels more a rock band who also gets weird every now and then.
Well, I mean that was the idea.
Which I love too, because you're the best rock band.
Oh,
So
man, that's so cool. Have you heard Stereolab? Let me ask you this.
I have, and they're not as good.
My favorite lyricist is obviously her.
I love the way you deflect, Will, when people tell you about how amazing you are, because you can tell you're just so uncomfortable with being told. Yeah. I remember telling you about Black Foliage in your backyard that one time, and you brought up like, have you ever heard Revolver? I'm like, yeah, I've heard Revolver. It's got nothing on Black Foliage.
Look, I don't have a favorite Beatles album. It's Revolver.
Yes.
But the engineers, there were 20, 21, man. Alan Parsons. Hello. Think about this. I mean, there was like 20, 21, it's like, wow. It's interesting to me.
Some of that Alan Parsons Project stuff is sung by Colin Blunstone of the Zombies, so it kind of gives you that.
Colin Blunstone's great. I mean, yeah. Let's be clear. Sorry. Do you ever watch 30 Rock, the show? Alan Parsons Project. The Alan Parsons Project. That's just the best show,
Speaking of Alan Parsons, the thing that the Olivias always did for me, I always compare you guys to like 10 times, you guys are like the Beatles times 10, but to me, it also has the vibe of Pink Floyd post-Sid, pre-Dark Side, that time of the band where Pink Floyd's trying to figure it out.
Like metal or something. You say free. Yeah.
You guys are like trying to figure it out, but you guys are thinking faster than everybody else around you, so you can just figure it out faster.
The Pink Floyd is my favorite band growing up. Really.
I think the thing that's so special about Olivia is that the albums are so like expansive and stuff, but there's really not much music out there compared to a band like Pink Floyd or the Beatles or even Daniel Johnston or, what I mean? And you guys all went on to do really magical things after Olivia's, but like that it is so compressed into these 2 records and the John Peel stuff and the avant-garde EPs and the singles and stuff like that. It's just like this little pocket.
Hey, can I sneak in one question about explanation 2?
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it was essentially recorded in like some sort of fever dream in 2 days, whatever. I mean, I guess what was sort of your mindset going into it? What was sort of the inspiration and the motivation into even doing it in the first place?
Well, because I was, we learning about new music and stuff, like speeding up, slowing down kind of things, and how it can change stuff. Really, the dog, but it slowed down. Oh, that's really cool.
So all that must have been cool to discover and all that, but why put it out? Why release it, I guess, is the question.
Because me specifically, wanted to do something different than a heavy band that was popular at the time. We were like, can we put out an extra CD? And okay, sure. That's what it comes to, I guess.
Well, I, for one, am glad you did. I mean, I really, like I said, I listened to it more than, say, the proper album that it was released with. So,
It's just a better album. Okay.
It's a beautiful piece of ambient
Yeah, thank
music for sure.
Was Fly Daddy excited about like the aspect of putting it out?
They were. I remember now out there's Flat Eddie demos, but they were into it. But they also were like, okay, like they could tell we were really, searching for something. Okay, cool, yeah.
They probably weren't going to end up paying you for it anyway, even if they made
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, we had so much money. I'm just kidding. I mean, look, I'm going to switch to Stereolab. They do 20 tracks, okay, as backing tracks, and then she would just, make it work. That's so fucking cool. I mean,
Yeah, you know what the thing is though, Will? Like the Beatles were recording in the greatest studios ever. Stereolab was always recording in amazing studios. You guys were doing this in your fucking houses.
thank
You know what I mean?
and yeah,
Even going to Roberts to record or like, to mix and or like kind of do the more rock band type stuff of Dusk. It's in somebody's fucking house. You're not sitting in Olympic Studios. You're making music that stands up with all of that shit out of your fucking house.
thank you, man. That's so cool.
And I do think though that's one thing that's kind of cool about the John Peel sessions is like that is what that band would sound like in a real studio. And it is so incredible.
Yeah, thank you, because I'm very proud of it, and my God, I mean, come on, John Peel. I mean, how fucking cool is that? Super cool.
And I think it's a badge of honor for him to like get to record this band that didn't really do like real studios. Because sonically, I mean the records are so amazing, but sonically that John Peel session, it captures like the vigor of what you guys are on stage, but in a studio. It's really fantastic.
Man, thank you. Yeah, because other people said that to me too, and I was like, really?
And I don't know if you remember this, Will, but I'm talking like in the 90s. I remember like when I first got the internet, late 90s, early 2000s. There was a live recording of you guys from Morning Becomes Eclectic, the radio show in LA, that is on par. I don't know if it's online anymore, but that was on par with the Peel sessions, the recording of it, because it was you guys were in a studio. It was such a good recording. I wish I had it, but I can remember taking like 8 hours to download this like 20-minute recording of that show. And it was like on par with the Peel sessions because it's you guys in like a real studio.
Man, that's so yeah. When we did the Peel sessions, it was like I remember Eric Harris, drummer and whatnot. I remember him being really ill at the time. It was like, look, man, don't let anybody put fucking reverb on it. I mean, I remember him just sitting there looking like really ill. I was like, okay, I won't. Yeah.
And that's why those snare drums on both those records sound so incredible.
Thank you, dude. Eric Harris might be the best drummer ever. Honest to God. I mean,
Also, the man's just a sound wizard.
It's like look, somebody who can do Ringo, right, and then also do jazz. Eric Harris, maybe. I mean, he's just the best. I mean, to me, he just can pull out all the stuff. I would play on the tracks and then but he was able to make it work because I'm really not a great drummer. Nah, he's just so good.
That's another thing about those records is that it does sound like a band playing together, even if it was just, maybe it was Bill on a guitar and Eric on drums on a song. But like when it's put all together, it sounds like the five of you in a room with all this extra crazy stuff on it. You know what I mean?
Very much.
It's mixed so well.
Super cool, man. Have you heard of Stereolab before? Sorry. No, but I mean, really though, I mean, they do like 20 tracks, just without any lyrics. And then I was like, I think she just puts some fucking lyrics there, and she does.
Well, I will certainly join your enthusiasm for Stereolab any day of the week, but I also do have a lot of enthusiasm for stuff that you've done as well.
I didn't realize double album, double album, double album, double album, double album. Honestly, I mean, all these great fucking albums, man. Look, I'm sorry. I feel really ill. I gotta go if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you for your time.
That was really, really
I
fun.
hope you feel better. This was actually pretty awesome.
I had a blast. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Will.
So great talking to you all. So such a pleasure, Will. Thank you.
See you, babies. Okay.
Bye.
Don't Bother Wearing Seatbelts will return in less than a week with a new episode with Benjamin Crumb about the new release Don't Swim Too Close by Great Lakes. Until then, don't forget to listen to great music as well as do what brings you joy and fulfillment.